Driverless cars. They're becoming a common sight in cities overseas. LA, San Francisco, Singapore already feature autonomous vehicles such as Waymo's robo-taxis and GPS-guided delivery robots. But New Zealand lags behind in adopting AVs. The only company, I think, there might be more, but that I could find, approved to operate an AV on public roads in New Zealand is Omio, which runs low-speed automated shuttles in a cul-de-sac in Pakuranga, but it's limited to operations on closed roads. There are New Zealand developers, including those behind Cloud Vehicle, who are working to bring similar innovations to the country. However, New Zealand's current transport laws are built around the assumption that a vehicle will have a human driver, which presents a challenge, of course, for AVs. The government is reviewing vehicle regulations, but is still behind, some believe, in making meaningful progress. So, does the idea of being driven around without a driver excite you, or absolutely fill you with dread? Ridiculous! What does our road safety advocate and friend of the show say? Clive Matthew-Wilson of dogandlemon.com will tell us. Hello, Clive.
Hello.
It's good to have you on board. One of the main obstacles, it seems, to the introduction of AVs in New Zealand is our infrastructure, which may not be compatible with them.
One of the obstacles to the introduction of driverless cars is sanity. So Tesla, on paper, has the best safety stuff in the world, right? But in fact, more people die in Tesla cars per head of population than any other vehicle in America.
Wow, I see.
Okay, why is that? Well, because of half-wits falling asleep and leaving the car to make the decisions. That's practically as dumb as leaving a politician to make a decision without kind of control from us, you know.
Okay, so not a fan, Clive. Do you think though, New Zealand, we should be looking at it, a little bit more than other countries?
They'll creep in anyway. I mean, perfect example, Auckland Airport. There's a international terminal and a local terminal. So that's a perfect place to put a driverless car, provided the right, circumstances are set up. But it's very slow. You can control who walks in the way. You've got to probably fence off where the car's going to move, but it's pretty, a no-brainer. I would say, however, that something that's not really factored in, and with people like Elon Musk, it's never factored in. Right, and that is what, for example, happens if you get on, you're going from the international terminal and you're going to the local terminal, and there's a person who's quite obviously completely off their head and starts pulling a knife and threatening people, which happens, right? And, God bless us, that's why we have bus drivers who can at least press a panic button. And I know somebody's going to say AI can sort that out. No, AI can't sort that out. You're talking to the former editor of a computer magazine here, The fact of the matter is, first of all, it's really comforting if you've got the right type of human and less of the wrong type, right?
Yeah.
But second thing, that none of these people really allow for ordinary human situations.
That's true.
Okay? And so, yes, it will happen eventually, and it's getting smarter all the time, but how many times have you heard that?
What?
Right?
That
technology is going to solve all the problems. I got bailed up at a road safety conference in Dunedin a few years ago by some half-drunk medical students who said we didn't need all the road safety stuff anymore because driverless cars were going to mean we didn't need drivers or buses or public transport, which turned out to be a little over-optimistic, shall we say. And it wasn't just the alcohol.
Oh, no. Clive, I'm sure you handled it with aplomb to that person. Did you just turn around?
Diplomacy itself.
And I think, doesn't public perception, it always plays a role, right, in this kind of technology? Because I would be uneasy. I mean, you've got to win over the public to get in one of these things, to share the roads with AVs at least.
Yeah, I mean, we don't let drunk drivers. What about drunk cars? And I'm being literally, there's been multiple. The car is making choices that humans are currently better at, right?
Yeah.
And you just Google, just go on to YouTube and just Google a driverless car collision. And you'll see the driverless car, there'll be a truck stopped in the left-hand lane, and the driverless car just smashes straight into the back of it. And they've always got excuses, but for God's sake, if you and I did that, they'd put us in prison.
Yeah. Well,
right?
exactly.
I'm not opposed to this. Get it right, offer it to us. We'll try it out at the airport where it's safe and we can sort out the problems. When it's sorted to the point where it's better than a human doing the same job, bring it in. But don't just bring it in because it's new. And that often ends really, really badly, like self-checkouts at supermarkets, which are being phased out because they didn't work.
Oh, tell me they are. Are they? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, God, they're just a nightmare.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is I think there's been one or two times ever that I haven't had to call somebody over, and it's not just that I'm old and doddery. It's not that. Basically,
all right, Clive.
The technology isn't there yet.
No, you're right.
Saying. When it's there, offer it back. I have no problem with it. But no, I don't want substantially worse technology that's being implemented in order to save someone hiring a human. That's what we're talking about here.
Let's go from AVs to EVs, Clive. The Great Wall Motor Company significantly discounted its fully electric GWM Aura in New Zealand. And this comes off the back of a similar move by Nissan, which recently reduced its entry-level Leaf to under 30K. Is this a trend? Well, why are we seeing cheaper EVs?
Because EVs are in nosedive globally. They grossly overestimated how easy it would be to implement them. And also the Chinese property market has crashed. So the Chinese government is heavily subsidizing its own electric car industry and saying, get those cars out everywhere we need the foreign exchange, and in places like America and Europe, because they're basically government-subsidized cars that are being sold below cost. There's being tariffs put in place. We're not doing that here, so they're rushing the cars over here at incredible bargains.